It's Timon, and I just caught this video. It just popped up. You know who? It's Jason Blaha, a good friend at Gym, Lifting, Recruiting, Fitness, Gary Slave. He has put up a video for us to react to, kindly, of him. Yes. So I happen to have some time. I'm not so busy, so I'm going to do a reaction to this video. All right, man. So the Bomba Clot himself, Jason Blaha, says why scientists went back and forth on eggs being healthy. Because it's marketing.
Hey everybody, it's Jason.
This is the stupidest thing. How scientists went back and forth on eggs being healthy. What are you talking about? That's in nature. So you would eat. You could eat eggs. It's animal products, dude. Why would it not be healthy for you as a carnivore animal? Why wouldn't eggs be healthy for you?
Blaha here, representing Jason Blaha Strength and Fitness, and I thought I would chat with you guys and gals a little bit today about eggs. If you guys would, though, please give me a like down below. If you're not subscribed or following, please do so, and if you will be kind enough to drop me a comment down under the video, I would greatly appreciate that. Let's get over to the topic.
Sure.
Someone brought this up to me on my Facebook, actually. They argued with me, said, look, why are you arguing about science? Scientists change their mind a dozen times on whether eggs are healthy, and look.
Scientists are people that are bought and paid for.
People bring stuff like this up without stopping thinking this through. Instead of just saying, these scientists have gone back and forth on this, they never actually researched why they went back and forth or stopped and thought about maybe the fact that they needed more data, they needed more equipment to take measurements, they needed better ways to look at the math. This one was very confusing for a good reason. So what people need to understand, this is why in science. So anyone who's taken a basic science class understands this. So we need to understand correlation and causation and why this one was massively confusing for scientists for decades, right? So everyone who's taken a basic science class understands that we have to have this conversation about correlation and causation. Right? In other words, correlation means two things are associated with each other. Causation means that not only are they associated, but one of them causes the other, and we have found the pathway and the evidence that it causes it. Okay? Ooh, there we go. So that's a big one. And in this case, yes, egg can...
Ooh, there we go. That's the big one. Yes, that's the big fish. Can you afford that? He's making these... Blaha's making these videos, man. Like he's at the supermarket videotaping food for you because he can't really show it to you. He can't really show it to you that he's eating these foods because he can't afford them on his food stamp diet. So he can only film with his phone and show you these foods and just imagine that it's a possibility he could eat it, but he can't because it's out of his reach. Food stamps don't cover that food.
Consumption is correlated with cardiovascular.
Food stamps absolutely cover peasant slave food diets, yes.
Disease, okay? It's associated.
Associated.
And it's associated for some good reasons.
Oh, yeah?
But is it actually causative? And the answer at this point looks like probably not.
It's associated, but causative, it's not associated. So you're making this stuff up, man.
So the people understand the difference. The way one of my biology professors in a freshman biology class explained this, he's like, understanding correlation between causation. He's like, we did a study showing that the correlation between the number of appliances in a household versus teenage pregnancy. And so we found an inverse correlation. In other words, the more appliances that were in the kitchen of a family, okay, the lower the rates of teenage pregnancy in that family. Wow.
What? Give me a break. Okay, whatever.
So if we were to look at that and without going further, we would say, so clearly having more appliances in your kitchen, keeps your teenage daughters from getting pregnant, right? It reduces it. This was a biology professor explained this, and we all had a laugh about it. He goes,
That's about the stupidest thing I've ever heard. It's a natural process to get pregnant and to have sex. What do appliances have to do with having sex or not?
Reality. They are correlated. They're associated. In other words...
No, they're not.
There's other factors at play. Okay. Families that have more appliances in the kitchen usually have a higher socioeconomic status, a higher level of education.
A higher socio what? Because they have more appliances? Higher what? Intelligence? What? Education? What are you talking about?
They're more likely to not be a single parent household too. Not saying this is entirely true, but on average.
So let me get this straight. Because they're slaves and living a slave life, this is intelligence? And they've enslaved themselves to all these appliances. So that too is intelligent too. Yeah. Okay. See, here's the thing. What I realized is this. The less you enslave your things to these worldly goods and whatever products and stuff, the better off your life is going to be. I'm not joking. The less you have, the better off your life is going to be. I'm not saying you shouldn't have shelter, or maybe you want a car or something, but the less you have in your home, the better off you're going to feel. When it's cluttered and you have too much stuff, you're going to feel bad all the time. You have more space when there's nothing hanging around. Keep it very minimal, and I mean minimal at best.
If you were to take the whole span.
Again, people keep buying clothes. There's only so many clothes you could wear. There's only so many clothes you need and you could wear at one time. See what I mean? Even if you're living in a climate where there's like 4 seasons a year. You know what I mean? You just keep a certain amount of clothes and then that's it. And anything that wears out, you just replace it. Yeah.
Of, say, the country, and you were to tally this up, you would find a massive link there, right? Because again, having more money usually means more appliances in your kitchen, and that's all linked to all these things. Well, guess what? Guess what else is associated with this?
So more money means more appliances means more intelligence? Okay, whatever, man.
How much time, the free time.
What does this have to do with eggs?
Parents then have to spend with the kids. 2-parent household, more money, higher education levels, higher chance of education, sex education, higher chance of birth control, all these things, right? Also, parents more likely to have the free time, at least one of the parents, to be more involved in the kids' lives to see what they're up to. Okay?
More education just means more slaving yourself. The majority of people that are rich in the world, they're not really educated. They're not educated. You don't have to be educated to live off slave labor. You understand me? To make money and live off the slaves, off their money. You don't have to be intelligent. They have to be intelligent because they have to do all those tasks. They have to work. But the 1% at the top, they don't need to be intelligent at all. They just have to figure out how to get the slaves' money from their pocket into their pocket, from their pocket into their pocket. That's it. That's all.
Okay? This was all found in this. And so you have to understand when you go over and look at eggs, when you look at eggs, guess what?
What?
We know based upon early data that foods that were high in cholesterol, because we know this is already confirmed. Elevated LDL is the driver of atherosclerosis. This has been causative, it's found, it's understood. So we're looking at blood cholesterol though. Like even back then they knew.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, elevated blood cholesterol, absolutely correlated. So they're like, aha, people who eat higher cholesterol foods tend to have higher blood cholesterol. This is a correlation. Problem is it's not causation. Okay. Here's the issue. There's a 90% overlap between saturated fat and cholesterol in foods. 90% of foods that are really high in saturated fat are also really high in cholesterol. The problem is it's only 90%. All right? We figured out later through more and more data and studying and looking at the human body and correlations and absorptions and measurements that actually saturated fat is what's driving blood cholesterol up for the most part.
Saturated fat is driving that up? Animal saturated fat? No, I don't think so. Not animal.
And even that isn't entirely there.
Why would it? Because you're made out of saturated fat yourself. So what are you talking about?
Are actually protective factors in play. There's a lot of cardioprotective factors that can affect it doing so. So in some cases, saturated.
I'm going to tell all you people right now, man, I eat a very high saturated fat diet. I drink homogenized milk. And if I can, I get raw goat's milk because it's extremely fat too, fattening. I have to go to the pet store to get it because it's illegal here to buy it in the store. So I got to go there and get it. So I drink a lot of saturated homogenized milk, saturated fat. I drink a lot of homogenized milk, yeah. But I eat a lot of products like meat and animal products. So think about it. I ate at the buffet today. I just uploaded a video. And guess what I'm doing right now? I'm drinking a lot of milk right now. Yeah. I just keep consuming to make sure I'm in an anabolic growth state. So I'm always anabolic. I just keep consuming. I want high amino acids and nutrients, high nutrients, saturated fat in my diet. So I just keep hitting it, that's all. Because I don't want a dip in nitrogen balance. I don't want it to dip. I want it to stay extremely high. And I mean sky high. So I will keep eating. I'll probably keep eating throughout the night. I may throw in there a couple of raw eggs, maybe 6 raw eggs before I go to sleep. I don't know. Depends how I feel. And then I'll roll on again tomorrow. If I wake up tomorrow, let's say I don't go to the buffet tomorrow, but I'm busy, I'm doing something. When I get up, I'm gonna eat at least a good 8, maybe 10 raw eggs. I don't know, because I won't have time most of the day into the afternoon to eat. So that should keep me to satiety the whole time in an anabolic state. But when I get home, I probably will continue on eating and then drinking more milk and eating animal products. Yeah, basically, really. That's it. Really, that's it. Really, yeah. I don't know. I might even go to a restaurant in the afternoon. I'm not sure when I get home. I don't know. Depends how I feel. I eat out a lot. I don't prepare anything at home these days. I prepare very little stuff at home, and if anything, it's just raw stuff I pop out. That's about it. I just eat it raw really, really quick. So it depends how I'm feeling.
That doesn't do it. Boy, that gets complicated. Right, so then you come over and say, okay, they didn't know that early on. It turns out we're not.
Like I said, you can eat like I eat at the buffet. You can buy yourself roast beef. Make roast beef at home. Cut it up, I don't know. Or steak or something. Make it very rare, like almost raw. You don't need it fully cooked. And eat salmon and tuna raw. You can cut up the tuna, you can cut up the salmon, eat it raw. Now, if you don't like totally the taste, maybe if it's a little bit fishy for you or something, you can, guzzle down one of these mineral water drinks that are flavored, or get soup and just, sip some soup at the same time while you're eating the fish. You understand me? To offset any taste that you don't like. Here's the thing: any taste that you don't like in these animal products, if you're eating them raw or whatever, eat soup with it and get some soup. Just put it in there and mix it in your mouth with the product, the animal product. You get it? That's how you down it, man. That's all. It takes practice over time. You'll get used to it eventually.
Even fully absorbing the dietary cholesterol. It oftentimes isn't even absorbed, and most of what's in our blood for the
it absorbs. It absorbs.
The that we're concerned with is made in the liver. Okay, it's making it largely from saturated fats, so that's the number one driver of that. Okay,
yeah, whatever.
The researchers didn't know this, so they assumed, because we have all these foods, it must be eating cholesterol makes your cholesterol go up. Okay. This is not an unreasonable assumption if you didn't have enough sophisticated equipment to measure it.
So eating cholesterol makes your cholesterol go up? Not necessarily. Your body can produce it if it needs it, right? Is that cholesterol an antioxidant? Yes, powerful antioxidant. Why is it going up? I don't know. Maybe to protect you. Because you're eating the peasant slave food diet, which is interfering. So it goes up to protect you, protect your heart, your arteries in your heart. That's why it goes up. Cholesterol, apparently, when it goes up, it removes harmful things in the artery. So think about it. If your body raises cholesterol, it'll clear out your arteries. That's what it does. It'll clean out your arteries, and it preserves your heart. So everything is running fine. It's finely tuned. It's just like a person eating a lot of sugar or whatever. The insulin goes up. Why? Because it goes up because it's trying to remove the sugar. It's trying to get rid of it as soon as it gets in there. If your body really liked sugar, then why is it trying to get rid of it as soon as it comes in? Because it doesn't belong there. See what I mean? So these seed oils, when you eat them and shit, all this garbage, and then your cholesterol goes up, that's because it's protective. It's antioxidant and it's protecting you. It's clearing out your arteries of this seed oil shit. But eventually, I mean, you hit it too much, you hit the target, and your cholesterol can only do so much to clear it out. And it doesn't work anymore. Just like insulin, it starts to crash. Your body says, fuck this. Man, too much sugar coming. I can't do anything here anymore. I gotta stop him. It makes you sick. It makes you sick, but here's the problem. You don't see the signs. You just go, oh, I'm sick. I'm ill. I'll go to the doctor. I'll go to the doctor and find out what's wrong with me. Yeah, your body's trying to stop you from eating those foods, but you want to keep consuming them and poisoning yourself. Get hit. You understand me? Yeah, this is stupidity.
So you can't get mad at researchers 40 or 50 or 60 years ago for coming
I don't care about researchers, man. You learn from your own experiences. You'll know.
to this conclusion. Okay, they didn't have the technology we have. It's not a massive
Whatever.
leap. Especially when they noted people who eat higher cholesterol foods on average have more heart disease. Wow, there's definitely a correlation. Well, here's the issue.
Oh, yeah.
Guess what else elevates LDL? Coconut oil massively shoots LDL up. It's a zero cholesterol food. It's really high in saturated fat. Horrible for your heart health. Eggs don't seem to affect it so much. In fact, some of the parts of eggs can be cardioprotective. Okay. All right.
Of course, it's cardioprotective. The cholesterol is cardioprotective. Cholesterol is cardioprotective. Yeah. He just admitted it. You see that? It's kind of obvious.
They didn't know this, so they saw the cholesterol. Guess what else they saw? People
What else did they saw? Blah.
say, so why then were eggs correlated? Because what do people eat with eggs? So if we come back
I
up,
don't even think Blah can afford to eat eggs, but you don't want to eat eggs, man. You know, you really want to eat animal products, man. You don't want to eat too many eggs. If you're a slave and a peasant, maybe. I guess that's all you could eat because you're so addicted to slave food peasant diet that everything else is ew for you, so you got to eat eggs all day or something, or you can't afford to eat animal products. I don't know.
over,
This guy looks funny. Look at him, man.
people who eat eggs tended to eat them in the morning in Western countries. What do
Well,
they
yeah, they tend to eat it in the morning because they think it's breakfast time. They have this association with eggs and bacon or farmers breakfast or whatever, steak, bacon, potatoes, and eggs. Yeah. Or Bennett, whatever.
to eat them with? Toast with butter, oftentimes, right? And other refined sugars.
Toast with butter. That's such slave food, man. You really are craving the butter, not the toast.
Right? Some jam on it, some jelly.
Some jam on it, some jelly, some more gross crap on it. Yeah.
Bacon, sausage. Okay, bacon and sausage.
Bacon's great, but you got to wash it because they put salt and they put like some honey shit on it these days. I don't know.
These absolutely cause heart disease. This is not even subject to debate.
No, bacon's not going to cause heart disease as long as you don't buy it processed the way they have it in the store. If you buy it in its natural state, cut it up and make it, which you can. You could buy it smoked. I mean, they have it in the store. You'll see these little pieces of bacon, like these little pieces. They're smoked. They're there. They're in your store. You could go to the butcher and get it, whatever. So that's the best kind of bacon to buy. Yeah, I mean, look at the people Okinawans. They're so healthy. They eat shitloads of like pork. They live to 100 years, 120 years old. Even though they're still eating slave food diets, but they're eating tons of pork. Get it? Their main staple is pork. Yeah. And they're so healthy because they eat tons of it.
They absolutely massively should.
I mean, when I was going to back in the day when I was going down to the Chinatown, when I come in my city here, Chinatown, when I would go down there, the Chinatown, they have these stores. They used to like put like a lot of pork, man. Like they give you some rice and put shitloads of pork on top of that rice, you know, on your plate. and give you this like tapioca shit or rice pudding shit or whatever. But they give you lots of pork. But like Chinese, they eat a lot of pork, man. When I go to the Asian market, they still have a section there. There's a guy cutting pork, pork ribs, pork, cutting them up. They're hanging there in the window, man. They have duck, greasy duck, and pork. They eat that, and they're healthy. Now, mostly in Western countries, we do eat what? Chicken. A lot of chickens. Chicken, and we'll eat beef, right? So beef and chicken. You know, you'll see chicken, a lot of chicken and beef. But Asian market, you'll see a lot of duck. Duck is more expensive than chicken. So well, I guess I don't know. So you'll see a lot of duck, and you'll see pork and duck. They eat a lot of pork and duck.
LDL, all sorts of risks. You're eating it with the eggs. Well, what else?
Look, if you're asking me, I like bacon, man, because it's very fatty. You need a lot of fat in your diet. Yeah.
Refined flour, carbohydrate with some sugar added, adding some extra sugar, adding some extra refined saturated fat on the form of butter.
Back in the day, in the wintertime on the farm or your old area, in my old area, we used to live. Back in the 60s, 70s, my mom would have, smoked bacon. She would like cut pieces and give it to us. And we would just eat it. Even on farms, they would do that. Cut you pieces of pork to keep you healthy. They would cut it for you. It was smoked, and they'd give it to you to eat because it keeps you healthy. Fuck, especially in the wintertime, man. You got to eat a lot of pork, bro. You know that? You're going to get sick or freeze to death. Because if that's your only source of animal fat, and meat, you got to eat it. You got to eat it.
This is a bad combination. All these foods are going to shoot cardiovascular disease up also. So then,
and this pulling on these elastic bands and doing this exercise isn't, Blaha?
They're still seeing a correlation. There's a correlation at play here.
I think he thinks the more he does, the better he'll look. This is never going to change your look. You're always going to look the way you are. Exercises are not going to change your genetics. Get it? But then people take steroids and they go, look, I got great genetics. Yeah, temporarily while you're injecting the drug, because it's done something to your genetics. Temporarily. But once you're off, bye-bye. You'll be worse when you go off it.
But it's not causative. As it's been studied more and more studies have looked at it and found, look,
yes,
the individual
more.
egg consumption itself.
You could say that this is a form of mental illness, what he's doing here. This is insanity, man. This is crazy. Really, he's been doing this for decades. What has he accomplished other than slaving himself for nothing? Oh, I know, for entertainment purposes only.
Eating an egg, one egg every day, doesn't seem to be even correlated by itself. When you
Well, they say eat an egg a day keeps the doctor away.
take these other foods out, doesn't seem to be correlated at all with it. And in fact, if you eat a fairly high fiber diet with it, people who have the egg have a slightly lower rate. Well, lo and behold. This is why they flip-flop, though. The correlations, not understanding that it was saturated fat, not cholesterol, causing cholesterol to go up. Okay? I mean, that took a bit of science for researchers to figure that out. That was not an easy thing for them to learn. Then you have the correlation with the other foods that we tend to eat with eggs with breakfast being major drivers of cardiovascular disease. Okay?
Yeah, okay, whatever.
That's why it took a really long time for researchers to start realizing this may not be the case. This is
No, really? They just figured that out. Okay.
why you have to measure things and look at it.
Yeah, sure.
Welcome to
I
Luxury.
guess that's why you have to measure things and take a look at it. I'll see you in the next one, friends. That was ridiculous.